Behind me is a 2025 GMC Yukon AT4 Ultimate. And in this video, I'm gonna tell you my top 5 things I like and 5 things I don't really like about the GMC Yukon. There is a lot to like this new generation of Yukon, but I still found stuff. You know, that's kind of what I do. Hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. Let's go ahead and take a look at this GMC Yukon right now. Okay, this is the new look of the GMC Yukon AT4. We can tell that by the red tow hooks in the front, recovery hooks, what do you want to call these things? We have a skid plate, a little bit skid plate down below. We have the chrome there. This is an interesting color. It is called Midnight Pine. It is an upcharge of $495, and it changes color as you get around. Right, so it becomes like a dark green on the side, and then like a turquoisey kind of green when it's in the sun. It's a really interesting look. And let's talk about price real fast, get that out of the way. Yeah, guys, $102,280. Interesting is that the starting price in this is $95,300. I only really have a couple thousand and some options. Night vision, illumination package. I have the Midnight Pine floor package. And then we have about $2,000 in the destination fees. Now, this is a 6.2 liter V8 under the hood, made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. Looking at 16 city, 14, or 16 combined, 14 city, 18 highway. Okay, so that's what we have going on there. We have AT4 badges. You have the more off-road tires. We have air suspension in this. We have a little bit taller ride height, the air suspension for off-roading. We have body color matched door handles. Boom, boom. We have, I'll show you the inside here. While I'm standing here, we have AT4 Ultimate on the door sills, the nice floor mats, and AT4 Ultimate there with Bose speakers in headrest. Big screen, AT4, and I'll flip this around so we don't have the sun in our face. We talk more about it, but a little AT4 right there too. Yeah, badges. I like badges. Badges. Oh, we have a little wood trim right about here. Has a nice feel to it. All right, and then the second row is like so. AT4 Ultimate there. There's our seating there. We have seating for bucket seats here. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is the way I count it. We do have some screens that are off, but these have Netflix and stuff. Actually, my father-in-law, who's in the 70s, was watching Netflix the other day on a road trip. Kind of nice. Kept him quiet. Sunroof up there, panel moonroof, what do we call these things these days? Something that I'd like to see them continue into the truck lineup, a bigger, more light. Yeah, because you see the light coming in the cabin. It's not so dark back here. It's not a cavern back there. And this is where the seat goes forward and back. This folds the seat up to get into that third row. The little wood trim there, and then a little red stitching there as well. Oh, and the interior color is obsidian, I believe. Let me check this, the cheat sheet. Boom. Yeah, obsidian rush with red is your interior color. That's what this is. And we'll talk more about those seats in just a minute. Come around the back. Okay, we have a Yukon there. We have AT4. We have a quad tip square exhaust. This is where the tow hitch goes into. I'll do some towing in this video and we'll talk more about that as well. Open this up. Come on up before you go. All right, so then we have the seats there that fold down. And yeah, there is our second row seats there too. So more as far as seating. Nice trim, or nice plastic covering here. Keeps all the dirt and stuff off of this. Let's flip this around and we'll dig into my top 5 likes and dislikes on this GMC Yukon without the sun blaring in your face and my face. Okay, let's start this off the top 5 things I like. Number 1, I like the overall exterior styling, but one of the things they really made an emphasis on that I think really makes a difference is interior as far as the height of this IP, which is the instrument panel. So in prior generations, this would stick up a little bit higher and you felt like you were a little more disconnected. They did a lot of work to lower this down. You wouldn't believe how many wires and things are behind this screen and all stuff. So they did a lot of work to lower it down. So now you have better visibility as you're driving. It doesn't feel like it's a big vehicle that you got a small little turret like a tank looking out of. You have a lot more glass and you can see a lot better, like oncoming traffic. Like this guy's hauling a big freaking thing. What has he got? Is that a... Sorry, we're going to hold this here for a second because I'm curious and you're curious too. What is he hauling? A big... Oh, just a like a big thing from a train. A big storage. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Squirrel. All right, number 2 I like on this GMC Yukon that I have to say is a huge difference. Seat comfort. Holy cow, have I had a problem with GM seats over the years. Starting like in 2017 or 18 or something like that. Wow, these seats are much better. I drove 3 hours home from the airport from Denver. I've driven 3 hours. Actually, Sunday I drove 3 hours back and forth. And these seats are really a lot better. Are they the most comfortable seats in the market? I don't know. I think Nissan Armada has a little bit more comfortable seats. But I would say this is a huge, huge step forward for the GMC Yukon and GMC vehicles. Hopefully it comes to the truck lineup. I know they're doing the Acadia. The train's got better seats. Let's do Sierra. Let's do Silverado on the Chevy side. So I really like that. Now let's go ahead and talk about towing. I did a little towing with this week. I had to film some Polaris Ranger stuff. Let's go ahead and get that footage. All right, we're towing up Wildcat Hills. It gets about 500 feet. I have Super Cruise engaged with trailer towing, and we're doing the... Yeah, it's fun. So we're getting a top to climb here. This 6.7 liter, 6.2 liter V8 would be interesting. A 6.7 liter. It's pretty darn cool as far as how well it's towing. No concerns. Premium fuel for all sorts of horsepower and torque in this thing. I'll put the numbers down below. So pretty impressed with it. I am also impressed the new changes Super Cruise this year. I think my neighbor's a little looking. He's looking over that light line. He's like, "Wait, stay on the road." A couple things they've done for Super Cruise, I don't know if it's this year, but it's a continual evolution of the software, is they have a couple things. On roads that are mapped, even with a trailer like this, it'll slow me down for the corners, so I'm not, running into problems. Also, if I'm not side by side with somebody on the interstate, it'll speed me up a little bit to get around them, so we're not doing the turtle kind of race. But get on top here, this is the last stretch. I'm at 3,600 RPMs, really putting it down, holding 70 miles an hour, and we're at the top. Right about there. All right, so, and then we'll turn around and we'll go down the hill, and yeah, I'll tell you about going down. We have 1 lane traffic. This is interesting. Construction lanes closed. Super Cruise is not freaking out. Super Cruise is fine. Now, if you've never used Super Cruise and you've never seen it, you'd be a little concerned about it because it's a little nerve-wracking. Trust factor is a big deal, and it's a pretty cool software. It reads lane lines, it uses the adaptive cruise control, and it maps out the roads. But Super Cruise with trailering, this is where I thought it was really beneficial. And I'm trying to see if I can take one of these cones. We have these orange cones, and it seems like we're getting close, but I'm sure we're not. Again, sitting behind the wheel, you're like, oh, I want to grab it. And you can. If you want to, you can grab hold of it. You can drive as you want to. But in this case, we just went around these cones with no big deal. Now we have a sloped vehicle in front of us. All right, Super Cruise, what's your plan? We gonna sit here for a moment, or are we gonna do automatic lane change? Okay. No, we're sitting right here. So, all right, now we're going down the hill. And this is where I wanted to see. Hold on, put my phone in here. I'm like, where to put my phone? I wanted to see if it would slow me down at all. So the other turn, it slowed me down, but this turn, it's not slowing me down. There's the car I told you in front of me. There's the green bar for Super Cruise. There's the read my eyeballs. And yeah, so we're going down the hill. So nice and easy. Once you get past the trust factor, it's great. But there's a big trust factor. I know. Pucker. Whoa. Woo. All right, we're gonna go keep going on this video because that was fun. What's going on, guys? Oh, I know what's going on. Boom. This is what we're towing today. We have a 2025 Yukon. And then we'll come around here and we can see it is the new Yukon, new body style, new styling there. And then we'll come Well, we're towing. Yes, we're towing a Polaris Ranger XP 1000. Gonna come out here and have some fun with this stuff, do some drone footage and things with the Polaris. So I brought the AT4 out because, well, it's not flat roads, and I wanted something a little more capability to get over things for this type of driving. So yes, I know it seems like your Civic can do it, but trust me, it's more bumpy than you imagine. You can see. So there's our setup there. So we'll talk about some cargo area real fast. Open this up. There is your cargo room. Not much in the Yukon because you get the Yukon XL for more foot, which is about a foot more, or Suburban for more storage room there. Do have 3 rows. Yeah, and then I will talk more about the interior later on, but I wanted to show you that. As far as cargo, where we're towing, this weighs about 1,800 pounds, trailer's about 500 pounds, so not towing that much heavy, but yeah, and there's our setup. Nice, we have a good placement for our safety chains, a good placement to get my pin through, hook up for the wiring. It all was nice to get all that in there. And then this has got a cover on it. It doesn't bump out too badly to make it look like it's more premium to go along with these 4 square exhaust ports. Whoa, 4 square. Yeah. Now, I towed with this. I used Super Cruise. Super Cruise got some new features to it. Like we talked about, it's a really smooth driving experience. A lot better than I thought it was going to be for a big body-on-frame SUV. Actually, I just had a Nissan Armada a couple weeks ago, and people were asking me questions about this versus an Armada, and this versus like Ford Expedition, that kind of stuff. Even with the AT4, with the off-road suspension, off-road tires, I think this rides just as well as a Ford Expedition and the base model. Like, I'm really impressed with the ride quality in this. And if I was focusing on ride quality and focusing on, towing experience, focusing on room, I would do this over like Nissan Armada and Ford Expedition. I think it does that much better. Let's check out this GMC Yukon AT4 Ultimate in early morning. Beautiful sunrise this morning, but thought I'd come out early and show you what the lighting looks like. So I'm going to lock it, and should do some animation here as far as unlocking it. So this is the exterior animation. Lights up when you walk towards the vehicle. Okay, puddle lamp comes on, boom, GMC spelled out. I got the fog lamp popping on too, lots of light around the area. We'll come around the back. And GMC, nice little feature right there. And then, boom, across the back. That looks pretty cool. That works out pretty well. I'm surprised on the front and the back, there's nothing about the lighting with the badging. I've seen a lot more brands start adding more lighting in the badging. We don't need the stinking badgings. All right, so let's, that's a movie quote, by the way. Let me get in the vehicle. Unlock. Oh, and the running boards have a light to them, too. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong this morning, but they're not popping on. They were on last night, so it has a running light there. Running boards pop out, but look at how much light there is inside this cabin. Massive amount of light. Really good for nighttime kids getting in, daytime early. Okay, so then we're going to go in the front and hop in where it's warm and away from the coyotes. Coyotes are up there on the hill barking this morning. That's a national park. There's probably some deer or some animal up there, and they are hunting. I'll turn it on. There's our screen. This is red, blue, and green. Super Cruise is kind of going through its settings. Red when Super Cruise is off, blue is when it's trying to engage, and green when it's operational. And then if you just drive around without Super Cruise pointing to roads, there's no lighting here. And then these lights here you see, I'll cover them with my finger, you don't see them in real life. So there's our controls here at night. What's nice is it has a headlight switch dial. Some of GMC and Chevy vehicles have gone to putting the headlight switch in the big screen over here, which just has its pros and cons. A lot of people don't care about it. Other people do care about it when they're on like a Navy base or an Army base, have the headlights on, or places in California where through the canyons you have to have headlights on. Not a huge issue there. Let me go back to main screen and just play around with some of the features. But there's the cameras. Cameras are always better to show. At night it's easier to see how well they look. There we go. There is our front and rear cameras. Okay. And this screen is pretty quick. Software is not an issue anymore. It used to be sluggish. Now it's not. So you can go to CarPlay. That's what the CarPlay screen looks like. It does mostly the full screen. Down below we have HVAC system as far as heating and cooling. Wireless charger down there. And then there is the rest of our lights at night. I just figured I was out here this morning filming some other stuff. thought I'd show you that, and then we can talk more about the screen back here. I'm going to turn it on real fast. That is nighttime mode. It's night vision. It's interesting. I'm not sure. That's what it looks like right now, but when it was darker, about 10 minutes ago, I couldn't see anything, but I could see the night vision right there. I'm not exactly sure what I would use that for, but yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of mixed about it. I keep playing around with it, though. It's kind of a fascinating little feature. It gets me kind of interested. I'm like, yeah, not sure about that one, but yeah, it's cool. And you can drive with it on that screen. That you can drive as fast as you want, and that screen will still stay on, as far as I can tell. I haven't ever had it turn off, so, All right, let's get back to the rest of the review. But that is nighttime. Oh, 360 button here too. Oh yeah, so that's a quick, easy button to get your cameras. I see. That's nighttime. I was hunting rabbits earlier, and I found a rabbit. Go across the screen. Hunt rabbits, hunt the rabbit, hunt the rabbit, hunt the rabbit. Hunt the rabbit, hunt the rabbit. Where are you, wascally rabbit? Give me my Elmer Fudd outfit. Hunt the rabbit. No rabbits. Darn it. One of the things I like is that the cameras are staying on. Yeah, so I'm doing, 45 and 55. I should actually speed up. Whoops. Nobody out here, just me and the farmers. But the camera's staying on while I'm driving, which is a nice feature. I have it on the back camera right now, as you can see by this icon right there. And the reason I have that is because if you're towing a camper or a boat or something and you want to check on it while you're driving to make sure everything's fine back there and secure, you can. It doesn't turn off. NHTSA used to have a rule that said you had to turn off certain speeds. GM and others have argued that it's actually more distracting to keep going in the screens and pressing the button and turn the camera on, turn the camera off, than it was just leave it on. So it is nice to have it just on at all times while you're driving. It's one of the things I like. That is a good thing, I believe. And it isn't nearly as distracting as you think. So like I'm driving here. Let me adjust the camera a little bit. I'm driving here, right? And then I just glance. I'm not like staring over there. I can kind of see it out of the corner of my eye. If you're thinking about where I'm driving here, corner of my eye, I can see where that is at. And just a quick glance. I'm not staring at it, not distracted, and I'm not. It's less distracting than it would be for me to go into the camera system each time and press the button and turn it on. Now let's talk about engine. This has a 6.2 liter V8. There's two things that I don't really care for with this. Is number one, there's no 6.2 liter V8 badging on the hood, which I find a little bizarre because I feel like the Sierra has it, and I feel like if you're going to get the more premium engine, which is what's available in this case, 6.2 liter V8 is a more premium engine from GMC versus the 5.3, you want a badge. I know it sounds stupid, but I don't understand why the Yukon doesn't have a badge, but the GMC Sierra does. Because I'm just, in my mind, I can remember that badge on there. Another thing I'm kind of a little frustrated about is that the diesel's not in this option as my loan vehicle. So they built these, spec'd them out before the diesel became available. So I'm hoping to have the diesel version of this in the future. That diesel should get 2 times the fuel economy this one gets. And in some trim levels, actually a cheaper price point than 6.2 liter V8. So I'm super excited for the diesel. I think that is a grand slam for this Yukon. And I'm disappointed it's late availability. And I'm hoping, as GMC's watching this, that I get another version of it, because that's the one that I would buy. I would not buy this 6.2 liter gas. I know people don't like diesel. I know it stinks. It's different. There's a lot of concerns about that. But when you get the much better fuel economy, it's hard to argue against it. And the thing is, like, the 6.2 liter V8 requires premium fuel. So you're not saving anything at the pump by doing diesel versus premium. In some cases, I've seen actually diesel be cheaper than premium. So I think that's a huge place that I don't like this particular GMC Yukon, because it doesn't have the diesel. They do offer it, just late availability. But I think that is the sure winner. I had that in the Chevy Silverado for a year as a reviewed vehicle, and I got like 30 miles per gallon driving through the mountains, not even trying. It is fantastic. And so I disappointed I didn't get a chance to check that out. Hopefully I check it out more this summer. Okay, let's get to the last 2 things that I don't care for this GMC Yukon. And the first one, let me tell you a story and you'll understand why I don't like this, is that we had gone to a family gathering, had some birthday party, and we're driving back, and we had about an hour-long drive back home, was about 7 o'clock at night, so we needed to stop and get some food for the kids and everybody. And so we stopped at a fast food joint, had a burger. As we're inside having our burger, we can look outside, and we see somebody on the opposite side of this vehicle walking back and forth. You can see their feet. And I didn't think much of it. My sister-in-law thought a lot of it because she had some possessions inside the truck she was concerned about. And so we just had our sandwiches, go outside. The truck's fine. I get into Yukon, and it says, theft attempted on the IP. Yeah, apparently that person must have grabbed a door handle or done something to set off the theft alert on this IP. Now, I didn't get any notification. I imagine if I had the GMC app on my phone, it would have notified me. But what I'm surprised about, what I didn't like about it, is that I'm surprised the lights didn't go off. The sirens, the emergency kind of, the button on the key fob where you do the alert. I actually should have pressed that button inside the restaurant and just kind of scared the person off. But I'm really surprised that it didn't do anything. We're sitting there watching this GMC Yukon the entire time. I know it's locked because the mirrors fold in when it's locked. So I knew it was locked. I knew it was fine, but like, why didn't it go off? Why didn't more alarms go off when somebody got close and grabbed the door handle and it said theft detected? Like, it made a lot of questions in my head when I got back into it. Why didn't more systems make a difference in that situation? Why didn't more bells and whistles and sirens and stuff go off? And that's one thing I didn't like. And I'm not sure why that is. But, yeah, that wasn't cool. All right, the fifth thing I don't like, and this is a little bit, all right, it's a little bit out there. But I'm going to tell you the reason why. I've been going through some physical therapy lately. My back's a little bit jacked up. So I've been loving I bought a Ram RHO for the channel this year. I've been using the massage seats a lot because, yeah, it's nice to get a little massage like that. So I'm driving around this vehicle, and I'm like, this doesn't have a massage. I'm so surprised it doesn't have massaging seats. And my friends on the side next to me were talking about it, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I wonder if it's got a dial by the seat. Let me show you this. Okay, so here's what you have to do. This is a dial for massage. And so you put your hand back here and you pull it and it changes the screen. Let me show you the screen when I do that. Okay, so it pulls this up. Then you use this dial to move back and forth between the settings. Then when you get in these settings, you have to go up to these settings. I screwed it up already. Then you got to go down with this little knob and then you can adjust it from there. Okay? Well, here's my frustration with it. And this is a first world problem, but in the Ram RHO, I can go inside the screen here and I can press massage. It's actually a button under comfort. And I'm surprised when I look at this, there is no massage button. And so I end up having one hand off the steering wheel and back behind me while I'm trying to adjust this massage. And it's not so intuitive as far as moving stuff back and forth. I learned and got it figured out, but I am surprised there's not like a setting that a push button. Like I have all these icons. Why not can't be something? And I actually don't know what these three are. Well, my friend and I we looked through it and we played around with it, and it looks like it just brings the shoulder in or just something. So it doesn't really make sense intuitively. I've checked the owner's manual a little bit on this stuff, and it still doesn't quite hit me as far as how clear it is. And I'm just surprised, like I said, that there's not in comfort setting or in climate. Like put climate and do the front and then have a massage button here. Just make these icons smaller. It's a small thing, but why can't I just, as I'm driving, I want massage, I press massage button, it pops up, I press that one, I press the speed, and I'm back to driving. Why am I going to go like this and put my hand behind myself, looking this way, and then diverting this way, that screen, and I'm trying to remember what I'm doing while I'm over here, while my hand's completely away from the steering wheel. I can't bring my hand over because now I'm messing with this. And so I don't understand. You have all these icons and such. Why not just make one of these, the icon, a hot button icon for massaging seats? And I'm surprised there's not like a drag and drop up here. Like the Ram infotainment screen has a drag and drop. I can drop my favorites on the top. And it seems like that's an opportunity as well to make that a little bit better. I have a few things I can talk about as far as settings, but it's like, I don't know. It'd be nice to drag that up and put it there. So if on a road trip, I want, massage, or I want back and forth with CarPlay, you have to go home, because this is just the screen here that splits things up. But you go home, and then I disabled my phone, but you go CarPlay, and CarPlay pulls up, and then it's It just seems like this software could be a little bit better done, and especially for just an icon for the massaging seats, or a hot button up here that says CarPlay back and forth. That'd be nice. And when CarPlay is activated, I didn't have that button either, or share things up or whatever. So I think there's some opportunities here to just improve the software on this vehicle. And because it's a software issue, you can do it over the update. It's not like an issue over here on the drivetrain or something that has to be in a dealership update because of privacy concerns. This should be just a over-the-air update to add a massage button. That's kind of my only thing. Okay, there you go. There's my thoughts on this 2025 GMC Yukon AT4 Ultimate. Now, they make different versions of this. You don't have to spend $102,000. That's why I didn't really talk about price, because I get the fully loaded versions to show you all the features. And then you can decide whether you want those features or not and work your way back down to more of a base level or something you want, whatever you're shopping for. Yeah, that's how that works. So what do you guys think? Am I right? Am I wrong? You guys are great about the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are. For more, check out our forum at forum.pickuptrucktalk.com. Pickuptrucktalk.com is the website, and check out more videos up over here. As always, thanks for watching. I will see you down the road.